Hello, everyone. We finally make it. We finally made it on the same time. We finally have everyone on the page, and we are able to do another episode of Interledgers of the Ledger. And I'm very happy for today's episode, even if it took us a while to plan it. And this is because I think in the last episode I mentioned that, hey, we're gonna do one while we are at the summit. Guess what? It didn't work. It was a lot of fun and a lot of work. The order is a bit the opposite, so yeah. But nevertheless, we are here back in the studio, and we are going live on a most amazing topic close to me because I work closely on this at Interledger, web monetization. But nevertheless, let me tell you who we have today. Besides Alex, our co-host and CTO of Interledger, we have Bibi, product manager for web monetization, and Sid. I'm not gonna go with the full name Sid this time because I know you're gonna punish me afterwards for making it wrong. Software engineer, but please go ahead and say the full name. I think it will be nice for people to have it.
Sid Vishnu. Hi, I am Sid Vishnu.
Bibi, you wanna be Bibi or you go fully Rabeb Otmani? I think this one is easier.
Bibi, I think. I'll make it easier for people.
Good. How you're today? How was summit for you guys?
It's good. It was
Very
fun.
exciting, but
Good. Alex, for you?
Ooh, it was a lot of work. I feel like all the fun missed me somehow. It was a lot of work because people might not know this. So if you're at the summit or when the summit recording hits, you'll see me in the morning keynote on the first day pulling out the white card out of my pocket and showing it to people. You'll see a bunch of people talking about their payment pointers because the cards came with payment pointers on them. And it looked really good. Everybody got their card at 9 a.m. in the morning. Everything was perfect Saturday morning. What people didn't see is the cards team working behind the scene the entire week to make sure everything worked perfectly for the summit. And there were a few long nights in the office. I think one of the nights I left the office at 11 p.m. and the cards team was still there putting the finishing touches on. So all of that fun, I think I've had fun Sunday night. Sunday night after the summit was finally done, I've had some fun and it was lovely to spend time with the team having dinner in that beautiful vineyard.
Yeah, that was it was a nice coronation of the work, especially because I think it's good to mention that the engineering team and part of the other colleagues that we have in Interledger joined us for a hackathon the week before, and it was, I think, 10 days of, I would call it a marathon. And jokes aside, BBR literally ran a marathon that weekend too. Some of our colleagues decided to do a 10K, but it was a marathon of events during whole 10 days that we spent together in South Africa in Cape Town. We had the hackathon, and I'm going to be sure to share you some links with the photos from there in our article. And after that, we had a meetup with the local community on a Tuesday. More than 100 people joined, and I was happy to see there was one of their most fun meetup in the city. Really nice to connect with the local developers and also people enthusiastic about fintech and work around it. On Wednesday, we went at the UCT, our innovation and educational partner in Cape Town, and we literally inaugurated together with them an innovation hub that will be focusing on technology surrounded fintech, and they are also our partner generally through the year to organize hackathons there. And I think Thursday was a work day with the whole team. Some might call it fun day, but we also had to do literally some strategic work. And Friday we started with work around the summit with a fair, with innovation demos, I think, and Saturday and Sunday literally all day long sessions that they were there. I think soon all the videos from Summit
You
will be available independently, but now you find on YouTube the link with the full day streaming. Yes, Alex, go ahead.
So Joanna purposely left off left off a little bit in between, which was Monday after the hackathon, where we decided to go have picnic on top of Table Mountain. It was a very windy day, and we kind of forgot to mention that it was going to be windy. So it was probably a very interesting picnic. But to make it even more interesting, because picnic on top of a mountain wasn't thrilling enough, some of us decided to go for a little walk around the mountain and then head back. And I think halfway through our walk around the mountain, somebody, I'm not naming names, Ioana, came up with the idea that we could actually go down the mountain instead of taking the cable car. So we hiked down a mountain. About half of the engineering team hiked down a mountain. I want to say it was uneventful, but I can't really say it was uneventful. We were maybe this close of actually losing Joanna on the way down, and Roberto, one of our PCH partners. But yes, there was some fun, Joanna. There was some fun. Now that I think back on it, there was some fun. There was some fun.
Well, some call it fun. Some really had a work out there going down. We kind of saw, some colleagues next 2 days going a bit, slower, taking the time to enjoy the views around. Yeah, but it was fun. Come on. I have to add for context for people, the next day or two days after, the cable car stopped working, unfortunately due to a fire, so it's not fun, but the cable car stopped working, so we were more than lucky to have been in top of the table mounting and being also to hike down before everything closed for the rest of the days we were there. I hope it was not because of us. Okay, it was really fun, and that's why, as you saw, we were pretty busy with events and everything. We decided to postpone the episode on web monetization to be fully available for everyone here today to explain what is this. And I think we know a bit history about Alex, but let's meet our colleagues, their experience, I would say. And I think for Bibi, I was curious to tell us how it was this transition from her previous role doing a bit of DevRel activities. I know it was also a work on product before, but embracing the project management side in your career.
I feel like it all fall in place without me kind of making a big plan out of it in a way. But every transition, now that I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, of course, it made like perfect sense. Because I'm a software engineer by trade, and I started as a developer, but for like a short-lived time. And I have no plans to go back to that. And then I did, as you mentioned, I did a little bit of, I worked as a developer advocate, so I did DevRel. And I think within DevRel, as I was growing in the role, because we started as DevRel and then it was more of a developer experience. So the scope of the work expanded like organically to not just think about like the community aspects of it, as in like public speaking or providing content. It was more also about what experience are we providing to our developers. In certain jobs I find myself looking at like developer portals that we had and documentation, which is kind of, it's a product, it's a product for developers, but it's a product. So I was doing product management before calling it product management. And again, like in DevRel, we care about the quality. So working in the API space, which is you start looking at APIs and like, oh, I got all these feedback from these developers, and here are the areas where we can like, improve. And this is what people think a good SDK looks like. And before you know it, oh, you're a technical product manager focusing on APIs and SDKs. And that's kind of, so it was a very, it was an organic transition for me, because I started looking at products, very specific products for developers, APIs, the developer experience space. And then I got the official title. Oh, now you are a product manager.
I think, like you said, there is a natural curve of learning or discussing more with the whole engineering spectrum of people as an advocate of the developers, and you learn so much through their feedback that it sometimes really comes natural to go on and embrace the official title on the other side.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
And for you, Sid, how it is to be back? Want to share a bit more of your history with Coil and us?
Sure. So, as you know, I'm a software developer, and before that, I was more into playing basketball. And then YouTube bit me, like they disabled my YouTube account, my AdSense account. So I was always looking for more ways to like monetize my content. And then like 5 years ago with Coil, I got to know about web monetization. And I was already in the standards and web space with W3C. So I thought, okay, let's try. And I tried to implement the web monetization API in Firefox and gave some feedback to the specification. So the specification as now is so somewhat based on my feedback. Then I moved again to the standards and monetization space, but without web monetization until I found Interledger is hiring. And I thought, okay, web monetization is back. And this time it's more open. So I thought, why not join? Like there is not a single wallet provider now, multiple options and more standardized way. So it's like perfect place for me to join.
I'm happy that it was a good experience that made you join the foundation too. And I think working within a foundation, a more organized on the non-profit side with a longer mission, sets a bit different the working space. I'm sorry for a career basketball player.
Worries. I mean, I was doing nuclear physics before, in between. So
Okay. So you choose correctly there. We also have our COO, Hugh Jing, who was a basketball player before. So it seems like basketball and web monetization, or like in general, foundations work has a connection there. I watch a lot of basket. Does count?
yeah, you are a player already.
Yeah,
Almost there.
I'm not sure my height would qualify me for
You'll be like on the bench there, so oh, wood. And how is working for web monetization? How would you describe for someone that first time interacts with you what web monetization is? Who's gonna start? Wanna go ahead, Bibi?
Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna literally pick on what Sid just said. He said I wanted to monetize my content, and there is plenty of content these days living on the internet. So web monetization is a way for people who own content owners, be it, from a small blog on the internet to a big publishing house, podcast, video, whatever. It's a way for them to make money. And it's a way for users to support the content that they like on the internet in a flexible way. So you want to support that content on your own terms. This is how much money I want to, support them with, and I want, no big commitments. Maybe I want to support them for like this month, next month, and then something changes. So yeah, so in a little bit more technical terms, web monetization enables, web pages, websites to receive payments from users, as long as these users, are web monetization enabled. And there are plenty of, obviously details on how to make that happen,
Yeah.
but that's kind of in a nutshell what web monetization is.
And we are talking here on terms of micropayments, payments that are very small.
Yeah.
Can we define a bit more what a micropayment is? Any of you, if you want.
So
That's a
here's the
philosophical
interesting
question with the team.
Yeah, I mean, for us,
here's
yeah.
here's the interesting theme. So the card networks or the current MasterCard and Visa networks define a micropayment anything around $5 or below $5. So for them, a micropayment is $1 to $5, and that's because they can't go below the dollar to begin with. So that's what the micropayment is. Now, if you think about web monetization for us, that's not exactly what micropayments are. So web monetization technically, depending on the wallet, can go to the 100th part of a cent or a nanodollar. Technically, practically, the wallets that have deployed Interledger right now or Interledger enabled, they've chosen to go on asset scale 2. So that means we can send as low as a cent in a single payment. And the extension kind of does a little bit of math and magic to figure out what your hourly rate is, and kind of batch that up depending on how small your hourly rate is, either 1 cent a second, or I can't remember what the other one is, 1 cent every second. But I'm sure Sid can tell you how it's implemented under the hood. I remember we had a very long conversation with Sid and Rado about how did we figure out the payment curve to account for the fact that different wallets will have a different minimum amount they support. Interledger as a piece of technology technically supports all the way to SSKL 9, so the 100th part of a cent. But because Interledger sits on top of a old-fashioned ledger or an old-fashioned accounting ledger, some of them written 40 years ago in COBOL, some of those ledgers cannot represent that many decimal points. So they're stuck representing only 2 decimal points. And the wallets that we work with, some of them, some currencies, they are stuck with the same limitations as the ledger has. I think we talked about a little bit about this in the summit session. Timea and Max talked about the reason why we had to remove the old ledger we were using for the test Interledger wallet. We were using the Rapid API ledger, and that had a lot of limitations, especially in terms of the size of a transaction and how many transactions it could accept. Funny story, little funny story. So we were all in Romania for a work week. And we were trying on web monetization for the first time in the test wallet. The test wallet was recently launched, very new. It was a Thursday
What is
afternoon.
Test Wallet? Let's step
So
and
the
explain
Interledger
our
test
audience
wallet,
what is.
the Interledger test wallet is something that we built ourselves using Rafiki to be able to showcase Rafiki and to allow people to test Interledger capabilities, to connect into the test network so that you don't have to connect into real money. We've developed it, I want to say 2 years ago, and we've kept improving it since, because it allows our grantees and account servicing entities to do their testing. It also allows web monetization to test in safe way. I want to say safe way. So we developed this with a team of engineers that are based in Romania, and we went over there to kind of finish it off, release it off of beta. And Thursday afternoon, everybody, I think it was like 6 p.m., everybody was out on a tour of the city. It was me and Rado and Max in an office doing some last minute work. And I was in the kitchen and I hear, oh no, oh no, oh no. That was Radu, one of the engineers on the web monetization team, with a single web monetized user managed to not only take down our test wallet, but the entire Rapid infrastructure, because a single web monetized user did too many transactions, 1 a second on the Rapid API, and the Rapid API couldn't handle that many transactions per second. And that's
Also,
why
I think it's good to note that whenever we hear you stuck late with people working or, summit work cards, it's you around. So we might identify the issue within the team. Just saying, yeah.
I agree.
Go ahead.
I would like to publicly state the same thing I keep stating inside of the team calls, which is Romanians have a saying, and if you're not from Romania, it's going to sound very weird, but Romanians have a saying that I'd like to live by, and that is do what your pastor tells you to do, not what they do. And that is, I am perfectly clear that even if I have long nights in the office, I do not expect anyone in the team. Actually, I strongly encourage everyone in the team not to have late nights in the office.
Yeah, true. That's true. I will not. I'll double second that too.
So
Also
all of
good to
this
know
rant,
that. engineering also mentions you not to be that much into coding and stuff, but sometimes you do like that. So we accept it from time to time.
So all of this long rant to say, or ledgers kind of enforce the limitations of organization, not
Yes.
organization. And because of these ledger limitations, we've had to swap our ledger to GitHub. We're using the GitHub ledger now. And that's because the GitHub ledger supports 6 decimal points. They're not even down to 9. I think the only people who could support a 9 decimal point infrastructure, I'm not going to spoil the surprise. I think we're going to have to make another off the ledger, Joanna, about the people who could support the 9 decimal point ledger
Yeah.
later in the year. Stay tuned.
We will. I think maybe we can close with that the year. Or we'll see with an MIA with engineers. Who knows? Let's see how the audience says, and we are listening to them. And to be honest, we are talking about micropayments. For me, going into this side of the road, I was surprised to hear that there are also micro loans. So totally blow my mind what we can do these days with technology and all. And you were mentioning these payments going automatically. Is it a stream of money? It's a continuous payment? How would we describe it best for our audience? Any of you? So you want to tell it technically, or we switch to product for an explanation?
Let's go both.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us how is on the engineering side, how you thought of having this. What means technically a continuous stream or a stream?
So web monetization as a idea was like as you browse the websites, you can send small payments. Small is a thing that we can define, and as you browse, you pay the websites and support them. So, and as you are browsing, we keep sending small amount of money as long as you are on the website. But if you go
How
to
fast or how often?
so yeah, that's configurable by the user. But for now, we say like you can send up to $1 per hour, which is almost like 1 cent every 30 seconds or
Mm-hmm.
less. So
Yes, I think,
you
yeah.
are on a website, so
And technically you implement this every few seconds, or what's the amount of time the payment will be moved?
so yeah, so that depends on the rate of pay. If suppose the user decides they want $100 per hour, then the payments will keep happening to maintain that rate more often and in a larger
Okay.
amount.
And if it's a smaller amount, it's less frequent to have the splitting. Okay.
Yeah, and it also depends on the receiving wallet. So if say the receiving wallet can receive only $1 at a time, not a cent, so
Okay.
that will mean we will end up sending one payment every hour only, not
Yeah.
two.
And this, to be sure that we cover, each streaming is not something that the user has to do every second, every 30 minutes, every something. They set a rate per month, per hour, and that goes automatically. This is what streaming means. You decide once, and after that, it goes automatically.
So the web notation does not try to get in way of the user, but as the user, you can get benefits from the websites as you are sending them small amounts of support or money.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end of the day, it's the user's money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to the user to decide on how much money they are sending and all of that. So we make it easy for them, but they still have full control on, their budget, how much money they want to go each month, or like what's the rate of pay and all of that. So yeah, it's easy enough. We say we try to make it with like minimal interactions from the user, but without taking any power from the user. It's still their money and they have full control on their money.
Yeah. Yeah, true. One of the things I'm asked while I'm at conferences, and for those that watch us, I know some of these answers. Don't get me wrong. I'm asking the team to share them because I look like I'm asking for myself, and after that I say I'm going to conferences to speak about this. But most of the times I'm asking if it's like a paywall or it's like pay by per view. Like I guess Netflix or other platforms. We are not endorsing anyone here, but so we don't want it. I think what I'm saying all the time is that we want to build up the experience on the opposite side. We are not blocking user. We are creating something more for user. It's up to the developer if they want to take action when they see a user that is web monetizing his content. But this will not block him. It's not a paywall, and it's not a paper. Each article that you read pieces, and if you don't pay, you don't get access to it. No.
No. It's literally, you are on this website and you like it and you choose.
You're supporting
what you're seeing on that website as long as you are on that website.
Yeah. And I think I always mention that developers, if they want to do, they can do something extra to send the thanks or to, I don't know, meet me, have like, oh, I saw that you're supporting me for like long time, or I was able to Web Monetization to cover my cost of servers with this. I can do a one-on-one or a, meet and greet session online or something, like build on the positive side of spectrum, not blocking access to it.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's up to sites how they want to use that support they got. So they could be hiding ads, they could be giving thanks, or they could be just giving you information like, oh, you have paid me this much, thank you.
Yes, yeah, I think that's we never debated or discussed more about the social impact of this. If people would be able to see that, like I mentioned, oh, I paid the server from only having a few users were monetizing in the same thing with us. Because we keep saying how these payments and work. Let's literally break it. How Web monetization really works and what are the elements that we are having in this architecture implementation. How we feel. Who wants to tackle this big one? Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
You go.
So Web monetization is a set of two APIs. One is designed to make the websites receive the money, and other JavaScript API part is so the websites can respond in result of them receiving some money. So, but the easiest part is it's very easy to receive the money. So you just add a small HTML link tag to your page with your wallet address, like where you want to receive the money, and that's it. So if the user has their web monetization enabled, a browser, they can just send you money, and that's it. Simple as that. But
I was looking around if I have the sticker with the tag, but I don't have it at hand. I'll write that because the tag. So from the developer side, you add that tag, and sorry, I was interrupting you.
And as a publisher, you just need to have a wallet address and users that can pay you. And you just ask your developer to add the link tag or do it yourself, and you will receive money as people visit your website. Now, you may decide
I
like
am this lazy version of a web monetized publisher. I think I touched code about 5 months ago when Sabine said,
should we share your page?
You can change my page. It's live with real money. It's live with real money. I think I touched code about 5 months ago, and Sabine and Max said again for the upteenth time to stop touching code. So I listened. I listened really hard. So when I implemented Webmonetization, even I think I implemented Webmonetization in November 2019, 2020. I was a lazy user back then. I was a lazy developer back then. I'm still a lazy developer. So I only implemented that one line of HTML and I am web monetized. But if I wasn't lazy, what else could I do with my implementation?
So to help that, there is the JavaScript API, which you can use to observe and respond to web monetization, like money being received. Like if you get the money, it's up to you how you decide what you want to do. Like you can show a counter, like how much money the user has sent you. And depending on the counter, you can give some user exclusive privileges if you want, or just say thanks. But the API is also, the JavaScript API is very simple. Like there is not too much in the API layer, but it's just an event. It says on monetization, do something. As simple as that. Something is what you decide.
Alex, any other ideas initially the team had for such events besides what Sid mentioned? Or
So
Did
when
we
we
ever
started, so
consider
this
to?
is very good question, very good question. So this is actually the latest version of weaponization. So when I implemented weaponization, the API surface was a lot bigger and it looked different. It wasn't a link tag, it was a meta tag. And it wasn't like the meta tag could only live in the head, so you could only monetize a whole document, a whole website, a whole web page. There was also a start event and a stop event and a progress event, so that when you listen for start, you could start doing something for the user. The start event fired before the first payment was made. And we worked with a bunch of feedback from people who tried it out, and with the W3C spec writer Marcos, we sat down and went through all the feedback. We talked to Stefan, we talked to Ben, the Coral CTO, and a bunch of other people, and listened to all their feedback, the browser makers, and we've reworked weaponization to make it more browser native. So we've changed the meta tag into a link tag because the web already has a way to reference resources into a page. So the link tag is used to import CSS, for example. So we've used that and added the new relationship type to link, which is relationship monetization. Now, because it's a link tag, it can sit anywhere in the document, so you can monetize multiple parts of the document with multiple properties. Kind of like you could use different bits of CSS in different parts of the website. If you put it in the head, it becomes a global monetization tag. If you put it somewhere in the body, it starts working from there. Or you can put it in embeds, in objects and pictures, so that you can monetize individual elements of the page separately. So, for example, if you monetize a picture on the website, the idea is to be monetized only while that picture is in view. Think about some interesting use cases from artists around the world or from galleries around the world. You have a lot of content that you curate, so you, the curator, are getting part of the weaponization stream, but also the artists you're curating or the resources you're curating, while the users views those resources, they get monetized as well. So it allows you to do interesting things like this, like splitting the monetization of a page into multiple parts. It also allows you to do platform level things. So if you think about Dev2, for example, Dev2 is a publishing platform with a lot of different publishers. As an individual publisher, I can monetize my content. The platform can be monetized when there is no other monetization source on the homepage, for example. But also, because technically people couldn't read my content unless they went to the publisher, people don't really know who the author is, but they know who the publisher is, so they can split the stream this way. So that was one of the things we did. And the second change was the start and the stop events were synthetic events. So the only thing related to payment that you could actually track was the progress event. Every time you made a payment, the wallet responds and you can check that the payment has been made. The start event was actually generated from the extension code that said, okay, we're going to try to pay people now, so let's issue a start event. And the stop event, the extension used to listen to progress events and figure out if they stopped coming in. So if the user stopped paying somehow, and then a few seconds later it would generate a stop event. Because there were synthetic events, some people didn't care about them, and we might have gotten the math wrong. So we removed the start and the stop events, and the only event that was left was called progress. But because, well, it was a single event now, and there was no more start and stop, we renamed it to the monetization event. And I think those are the big differences. The big differences. Oh no, there was another subtle difference that maybe for some people might matter. The monetization events used to be a property of the document. So you had document.monetization, but actually monetization, after talking to browsers, they made us think that monetization was a property of the browser. Is the user agent monetized or not? So now the events come out of the window route instead of the document route.
And window as well as individual link tags. So you can see which link tag got monetized as well.
I think that's really good. And I posted while you were mentioning Dev too, Alex, because our community.interledger.org is based on the same technology as Forum that they use. So if you're not familiar with how the platform is, you can check it. As you can see, multiple writers, multiple magazines or lists called a lot of grouping and degrouping needed there. It was not necessarily planned, but you mentioned a lot of the W3C work as a specification, and I think it's a good moment to talk about that. Web monetization is a standard that we are trying to make it with the W3C. We also have a working group, and we are part of the payments group. Any other detail, Alex, that you want to share from the whole work till now there, and maybe the future? But future is never
I
known.
I think one of the things that we need to be very transparent about is weaponization is a standard at the W3C. While here at the Interledger Foundation, we strongly believe in weaponization. We are just shepherding this this spec at the W3C. We actually collaborate with a lot of people at the W3C, browser makers, browser developers, to inform a lot of the decisions that get put into creating the spec and implementing the spec. If you have feedback, we actually work in the open. We have a public community call. You should join the community call. The information is in the weaponization repo. We welcome everybody to give us feedback. We also work on GitHub issues. The repo for weaponization sits at the Web Incubator community group of the World Wide Web Consortium. All of the issues are public. We actually work on a bunch of them that come out from outside of this call. We would very much like to see more participation in this group. Participation can be as simple as we think this is a good idea, or how can I make this work for me right now? Or I've had this genius idea that I think everybody should consider. We've had some of those as well. And if you look in the issues, you'll see some of the things we're doing with the extension came out of collaborating with the community of Webnation. Simple things like one-time payment. The initial version of weaponization did not have one-time payments. It was all about the continuous stream. The only weaponization provider enforced monetization business rules on its users. And the fact that the extension today allows everyone to be their own provider is based on everybody wanted to change things in the initial extension. Everybody wanted things to work a little bit different. So now every aspect of weaponization in the extension is tweakable because we realized no weaponization provider could make everyone happy. So whatever monetization model we would enforce on the world, people would still find a reason not to be happy with it. So now we've made it so that every single setting is user tweakable or user changeable. Once you install the extension and you connect your wallet, you become your own weaponization provider, and all the logic and all the decisions on how you get web monetized are up to you.
Yeah, I think it's good to know that today is literally happening, the web monetization call as we speak. But you can join the next one. Bibi is the owner of there, and we will have the notes in GitHub starting next year. Now it's a doc. We figure out it's not discoverable, so we are gonna move them onto GitHub. But nevertheless, you can propose and share. You'll find information, I think, in our community blog post about web monetization updates. Or me or Bibi can just write us and share you the links how to join. And yeah, I think exactly that, I think it's very important to mention that the web monetization, it's not something that only us want to do. We are shepherding this towards other implementations too, or other people contribution, and we do have and do welcome that. And I posted the link. I'll also add it in comments in a sec. I'm trying not to type as much so I don't bother people. But I'm also very new at posting and moderating everything live streaming. Is it a good time to demo the extension, how we have it? I think I want to add that longer term, we want to have this by default, as you know, in the browsers as implemented. Some people already could read that some browsers do work very close to us to have it ready soon or sooner than others. We do have everything in the open in GitHub, so you can check there too. But till we have it as a standard and till we have it adopted natively, we decided on a shortcut to be able to show or to demo the impact of such a technology, such an API and all that. And our shortcut was to implement an extension that will do this non-natively. You have to install the extension. And that's why let's welcome the extension in this discussion. Should we? With a big disclaimer, as a part of the team, this is a closed beta right now. Soon, very soon, we're going to open for everybody. But if you're really eager, again, ping me or BB for a link to, or what does it mean, a closed feedback loop, closed testing. Go ahead. Can share, I think. Let's see how the extension looks. Oh, nice colors. And don't get scared if the extension looks different than the screenshots that you show. We're literally working on the UX of the extension, how it looks, how it presents. So will be changed a bit. Go ahead, Sid.
I will use my test wallet because I don't want to send real money for this demo. And
Why? You can give me a coffee. God damn it.
I have to finish my KYC.
That's a different one, yes.
So I will use this wallet address or payment pointer and connect the extension.
This is the first screen of the extension when you install it.
So you want to connect your wallet with the extension. You can just paste your wallet address and you can define how much you want the extension to access, and you can decide if you want this amount to be available monthly or not. So
okay.
Today is November 19th as of this recording, and so on December 19th I will have $50 available again to monetize more websites. So for now, let's go with $50 and monthly. We will finish the connection process. From a wallet provider, we will get a consent screen that if you really want to do it, we say yes. That's why I clicked it. And now our wallet extension is connected to the wallet. Now this specific website is not web monetized. Like there is no link tag link tag with the wallet address. So the extension will say this site is not monetized.
And we will have the small red dot at the add-on extension status.
Yeah, I cannot zoom in, okay, to this part.
No.
So for this demo, I decided to create my own page.
Someone starts monetizing his work, I see. Just saying. Alex, no more coffees for you.
Yeah. So yeah, I added a Mexican wallet address because it allows me faster conversion, more like the asset scale is lower, so I can send more payments quickly as a demo. So, and I added a total sent amount, like here are some events like we mentioned earlier, we have monetization events on the window, and they will contain the amount, currency, and a way to verify like how much payment actually went through via the open payments incoming wallet. I won't go through that, but now we are here, and as I'm browsing my websites, scrolling and moving my cursor, eventually I will get another payment. But for the sake of demo, I will increase the rate of pay. Right now, by default, is 60 cents per hour. I will raise it to $1 per hour.
Okay, and it's good to also mention right now that because this page is monetized, we have the green flag at the extension status.
Yes, and as the money goes out, you will see this balance will keep updating. It will take a lot of time to send the next payment because I have just set $1 per hour. So for now, let's try sending a custom amount of.
So this will be what we call one-time payment, OTP, right?
So I really like my website. It's my own.
Give it $10. Give it $10. Don't be cheap.
I will give it $10. And as I said, I received 200
in Mexican.
Mexican pesos. And I added a counter so you will know like I have received, this is the total I have received in this session.
Mhm.
And
Good to mention, sorry to interrupt you, is exactly this one thing to showcase people that as we use the analogy with the email, that sending a payment as easy as we send an email, it doesn't matter that your initial wallet is sending dollars, your receiving wallet, which in this case are both yours, but in general will be separate, the user and the developer, it can be in different currencies.
yes,
Ooh, more
and
money!
I can just empty my USD wallet and send it all to my Mexican wallet. I mean, it's still my money for the test. He can send money to anyone. It's like, as Joanna said, it's like having an email address. So this is essentially my payment email address.
All
And
good, yeah. And with time, I saw that the small numbers also increase. So the payment per hour, the continuous streaming also works in the background. As you can see, we're not doing any payments all the time. That goes and supports. And if you close the page, that money is stopping, the stream is stopped and is not going to happen anymore.
if I close, that session is gone. But if I come to my website again, it will start sending
Yes,
money again.
yes.
You can,
And this will be the increment, the stream, and the one-time payment is done, no more the money. The monies are still in the wallet, but not on this session receiving the money.
yes.
Exactly, yeah.
But the website can like just save the money they have received till now and provide more benefits if they want, like bigger things, like you came back, so have more fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is what I early mentioned, that we should probably think one of the developer tools would be suggestions of this, like what to showcase the social impact that you got money through web monetization, and maybe say, oh, I paid the server, or I'm able to add better designs because I'm available to pay a designer right now. Or just, I'm not complaining about your pasties, don't get me wrong. I like the color scheme there. It's very on spot. So yeah, things of this.
So yeah,
Alex, anything you will add here?
I feel like a demo isn't really a demo unless it happens with live money on my website. But I will take this Mexican peso to US dollars. I think one of the benefits of using Interledger for the underlying payments is the fact that cross-currency and cross-border happen seamlessly. I don't have to worry about getting multiple accounts so people can pay me in whatever currency they have, or I don't have to worry about who and where the currency conversion happens. In this case, it's SID is monetized in US dollars, the website is monetized in Mexican peso, and the payments happen instantly, and you don't have to worry about any of that. And I think that is one of the beauties of using Interledger under the hood.
Alex, do you have your wallet set up for your page? You want to do with real money a demo?
No, it's okay. I haven't with real money set up. I haven't really with real money set up, but I feel like I've been taking advantage. All the summit demos happened with either my website or Radu's website. And I think Radu on stage paid me with real money, I think $5. And I think in like after he got off stage, I felt so bad about taking advantage of him like that I took him out with the same money and bought him a coffee. So it felt equitable. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. If you're watching this at home and you want to test it out live, alexlakatos.com. I could always use another coffee.
Yeah, see, there was about to open. I want to add. I'll just finish this, Vivi. I'll let you go with the cards. They were testing, and Tadej decided to send me some money, and he was playing with the audience, like, is Joanna nice? Should we give her a bit more money? And the audience, of course, supported me, and I got money, and I was like, after that, I need to send you back the money. I mean, like, you gave me too much money. I was like, I was feeling bad at my card was on the test. I mean, I feeling bad, but I also enjoy free coffee. Thank you. Go ahead, Vivi.
I thought, like I managed to convince Radu that for testing reasons, I need to have access to his wallet. And now I feel I did the wrong decision. I need to convince Alex that I need access to his wallet for testing
Exactly.
reasons.
So I'm not gonna let's just say the summit was a very good time to be web monetized with real money. I think I made 60 euros in a weekend from web monetization. I think web monetization is very good. Between me
Oh,
going on stage and shouting my payment pointer to the world, which by the way, if you don't know, my payment pointer is ilp.dev/000 slash triple zero. Between that and web monetization, working on my websites, I made 60 euros in a weekend, and that is
So
after
yeah, I
I
think
bought coffee for the team. So I'd say it was a very good weekend.
yeah, I think it's if you're listening this now, create your page now, monetize it now, because we have to have more testing pages that we use, and as we are testing with real money lately, it might be a good source for you. Good. Anything else from the demo side you want to share?
I can show like how much, like somewhat of the API surface, like what made the demo work. So
Yeah, let's see a bit.
be a bit of code, but I will highlight the important parts. So to receive money,
Okay.
all you need is this link tag with your wallet address.
And in
Uh,
this case, exactly, the wallet address is yours, Mexican. I see there.
yes, and
So it's literally a tag monetization added in your source page.
and and for the observation part, you just listen to this event. So
Yes.
window on monetization, you get the amount, you get currency, and it's up to you how you want to
Mm-hmm.
use it. So the API is very simple and very like it's up to you how you want to use it.
Good. Thanks, Sid.
If you
How are
need
we
help,
feel?
if you need sorry, if you need help while you're trying to replicate Sid's codes at home, you're trying to get monetized. If you need help, you can find us in the community Slack. Anyone here is more than happy to help you get monetized. And if you're a publisher without a developer or that doesn't really do development, we are happy to help in that instance as well. Please reach out. We have a lot of opportunities coming in the near future with either grants or support coming the way of publishers. If you are a publisher and you'd like to explore your options, please reach out. We're more than happy to talk.
And now that you mentioned the future plans, which are grants for publisher or grants for web monetization in one form or another, stay tuned or more details soon. What are the plans for web monetization for the next year? Because we are almost there.
I think if you really want to know, you're gonna have to follow us along. We have a very good idea of what we want to do with weaponization in the new year, but you know what? You really want to find out? Come in GitHub, come there every week. There is a version 2 that's happening. We are talking about what happens to the unused money. So right now we set a budget for weaponization that maybe the websites you don't spend enough time on websites, but you'd still like to spend your entire monetization budget. There is a proposal on the table about at the end of the monetization cycle, so at the end of the month, splitting whatever's left over in your wallet to all the websites that you visited. We're also talking about the ability to change the rate of pay per website, not per global instance. So for example, I'd like to pay the BBC a bit more because I used to live in the UK and I have a soft heart, and I really wouldn't want to pay, I don't know, the New York Times that much. So being able to change the rate of pay for website, that rate of pay could actually be zero. Maybe I don't want to pay all the websites that I visit. And then the split off payments at the end of the month, taking that into account. So we are working on a lot of things for V2. I think the most important thing is, though, we are gonna go public with weaponization. If you are in a place where you can get the wallet, currently the US, Europe, Canada, and South Africa stay tuned. Web Monetization is gonna come to a browser near you, or to a browser
Yeah.
near you if you get a wallet account.
And probably we're gonna do a session early next year about the testnet too, so you will see if the wallet is not yet available, you can still get familiar to how to implement it for when we will have a wallet close to you, and or if you want to implement it for a spectrum of the worldwide. I know for sure, spoiler alert, Bibi is working on the finalizing the roadmap and all that. So like Alex said, if you stay close to us, for sure she's sharing more of that work, both publicly on GitHub. We are open source after all. And we do love open source. I think the new people do like this, the hearts, but also for the old ones too. Everyone is included here, yeah. We do love it. We did have a Hacktoberfest just closing, and we had code contribution there too. So we will post it for sure, how to join or how to follow the roadmap too for next year. We are running out of time. Any last invitations from you? Every contribution, how people can contribute? Go ahead, Sid.
Subscribe to our newsletter where you can get updates. So
That's a good one. Good promotion.
Of the community. And we are good people, we listen. So if you really want to influence the roadmap and the strategy, just be part of the community, and we listen. We have like different forums that's been mentioned, so like the community calls, GitHub, a yearly
She's the
summit.
product manager, and she says she's listening. So people, this is your chance. Go ahead, propose everything you have right now. We have it there.
Sometimes it happens. By the end of year, it happens. I soften up.
Yeah, exactly. With the whole. Go ahead,
We
Alex.
don't only listen. We don't only listen. We could use more help. We could use more help. So if you want to get your hands dirty and write a little code or a lot of code, we have good first timers issues. It's an open project. Everybody's welcome to contribute, and we have people that can help you set up, and they can point you in the right direction of where we need most help. We're here, we listen, but help us build it.
True.
Oh, this is exactly. Join us in building this. This is the most. Don't be just a spectator. Be part of it. I think it's the best point to close this streaming, and I'll try to follow up with links there. But nevertheless, you find us on all the social media. You find us on Slack, on GitHub. Please be nice when reaching out. Just saying that's all. And hopefully we'll be able to have another panel till the end of the year. Thanks so much for joining today.
Thank you.